This is what we are going to do. You add money to it. Don't worry, you add money. Yeah, you have money inside the account. That's the thing. So you just say, okay, maybe for the game tonight, Manchester City will score 3 goals.
God just saved that on Monday. Thank God you did it on Tuesday. Thank God you didn't drop the 1,000.
It is not about. There is money.
There's money.
There is money. I'm ready.
If it's
I'm
sure
ready
for
to
you, drop that 1,000
Yes!
now.
Today is Chelsea Manchester City. So who's winning tonight? 1-1. Okay, so you keep your 1K. All right, remember last night it was Napoli ending, losing their, is it ending now? But I mean, they lost their winning streak in the Italian Serie A and thumbs up to Inter Milan for doing that damage. Romelu Lukaku, who could not, help Belgium at the FIFA World Cup, helped Inter Milan last night. Edin Dzeko was not at the World Cup, but I mean, he came to the Italian Serie A and he got the job done. Remember, you can watch us live from anywhere across the globe. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM, Solutions 939 FM, Facebook, YouTube, and you can tweet at us at Solutions 939 FM on Twitter. You're welcome on board. It is Kickoff Sports Show.
Hey, Lukaku trying to pin Kim. Lukaku's found half a yard. Dzeko is there, and Dimarco round the back. Just couldn't hit the target. But Inter started this game so well. Zombongisa, now Oliveira, and here's Zielinski, around about the same position from where he scored in this fixture last season. Mkhitaryan, that's a glorious ball. Dimarco now picking his head up. Dimarco's cross, Dzeko! Breakthrough Inter. The veteran keeps on scoring. And on the balance of play, that is richly deserved. The league leaders trail at the Ineata. The referee blows his whistle. Edin Dzeko, the match winner for Inter. Napoli fall for the first time this season. They lose again at Inter. And it ends Inter 1, Napoli 0.
To Inter Milan, that could have been the fate of Arsenal against Newcastle, but thank God it didn't happen.
Stop bringing thank God here. Please go ahead.
Well, let's talk tennis. Novak Djokovic is in the news again this morning as he is set to miss Indian and Wells Open and Miami Open after the United States extended the requirement for non-American nationals to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Remember last year, the 21 Grand Slam winner was forced to sit out both tournaments as well as other events in America and Canada due to not being vaccinated. He is still being stubborn this year again, saying he's not going to be vaccinated and is going to miss the Indian Wells Open and Miami. Let's talk about more tennis stories. Iga Swiatek has dragged Poland into the semi-finals of the United Cup with inspired performances in their singles and double matches against Italy. And Poland trails after Lorenzo Musetti, after Matteo Berrettini secured wins against Daniel Michalski and Hubert Hurkacz respectively, only for Swiatek and Magda Nielets to level tens with respective single victories over Martina Chavison and Lucia Bronzenti. But we'll also talk about NBA this morning. Well, the Golden State Warriors are hoping that reigning NBA Finals MVP Stephen Curry can return next Friday ahead of their 6-game road trip. Curry has been sidelined since suffering a left shoulder suffocation on December 14 against Indiana Pacers. But we'll take the lineup or the fixtures and also the scoreline from the NBA this morning. Nets doing not so wonderful against Memphis Grizzlies, 107-point losing 131 to Memphis Grizzlies. Cleveland Cavaliers also won their game. Just this is one game that wasn't so good against Phoenix Suns, 90 points winning, then losing. Phoenix Suns 88 points. Orlando Magic lost or won their game, beg your pardon, 126 points to 115 points. Oklahoma City Thunder couldn't do anything. Well, Philadelphia 76ers won their game at home, 129 points. Indiana Pacers losing 126 points. Well, San Antonio Spurs couldn't win New York Knicks. yesterday, or the early hours of this morning. 114 points, 117 points. Toronto Raptors lost a game at home against Milwaukee Bucks, 101 points to 104 points. Chicago Bulls did their best and won their game against Brooklyn Nets, 121 points to 112 points. Minnesota Timberwolves lost their game at home against Portland Trail Blazers. Oh, it was a win, 113 points to 106 points. New Orleans Pelicans won their game against Houston Rockets, 119 points to 108 points. Golden State Warriors lost their game at home to Detroit Pistons, 119 points to 121 points. LA Lakers did their magic against Miami Heat, 112 points to 109 points. Sacramento Kings lost their game at home. That was like 3 points difference to Atlanta Hawks, 117 points. Losing to Atlanta Hawks, 120 points. LA Lakers,
yeah, good morning. Good. How are you? Hope you are good. Hope you are good.
Oh my God, let's talk football.
Time right now, it is 9:09 from your Remedy Dial Solutions 939 FM, and let's talk football here. Kickoff Sports Show still live on your Remedy Dial Solutions 939 FM, the first part of AM Update. We start with the Spanish Copa del Rey, where it almost turned out to be a bad night for Barcelona against their opponent, Inter City. It almost felt like, okay, maybe Inter Milan stroke Manchester City. I mean, the game was like a flurry of goals with Barcelona opening their net. Well, Barcelona cannot leave their Copa del Rey clash against Inter City happy. This is coming from coach Xavi. Well, the Blaugrana required an Ansu Fati winner in extra time to decide the 7-goal thriller against their third fair opponent, which saw Soldevila net a remarkable hat-trick against Barcelona. But for Atletico Madrid, coach Diego Simeone believes Antoine Griezmann is silencing his many doubters with form for club and country that proves he's still extraordinary. So let's check the extraordinary results in the Copa del Rey played last night. Real Valladolid lost against Deportivo Alaves by 1-0 as Barcelona defeated Inter City 4-3. Atletico Madrid defeated Real Oviedo 2-0 as Mallorca edged Pontevedra 2-0. Real Sociedad defeated Logroñés 1-0 as Sevilla bashed Spelt Linares Deportivo 5-0. That's the updates coming from the Copa del Rey as we move straight to the Italian Serie A. Results came out yesterday. The desired results for Inter Milan against Napoli. 1-0 was the scoreline. But I mean, looking at Victor Osimhen and his team, the only thing I was seeing Victor Osimhen doing was putting his hand on his head. But hey, it is what it is. You still move on. But a quick look at result of games played in Italy last night. Well, for the Italian Serie A matches, AC Milan defeated Salernitana 2-1, Sampdoria edged Sassuolo 2-1, while Spezia Atalanta played out a 4-goal thriller 2-0 draw. Torino Verona also settled for a 1-0 draw as AS Roma defeated Bologna 1-0. Lecce defeated Lazio 2-1. Cremonese lost to Juventus by a lone goal. South Africa a fantastic one. Fiorentina Monza played out a 1-0 draw as Inter Milan, told you earlier, edged Napoli. The only red card of the night came from Empoli's team, but they were able to hold on to play out a 1-0 draw against Udinese. Now, moving away from the Italian Serie A this morning, let us talk about the English Premier League. Remember last night it was Tottenham Hotspur beating Crystal Palace 4-0. Antonio Conte is a happy man this morning.
Crystal Palace walk out for the first time in 2023, and it's a London derby to start the new year with Tottenham in SE25. Perisic, dangerous ball, Kane's header, and Tottenham strike first at Selhurst Park. Into Kane, it's 2. In the blink of an eye, Harry Kane at the double. It's Harry Kane again for Tottenham, and it's Son. Ward did very well to delay Son successfully, but it's drilled home anyway by Matt Doherty. It will fall for Son, and it's 4. A remarkable second half. Well, Palace's first home match of the year ends in defeat. They had the chances. They had Tottenham where they wanted them in the first half, but in the end saw Tottenham win at Selhurst Park.
One there for the Tottenham Hotspur side, but the game between Arsenal and Newcastle has given Manchester City side the hedge, and Pep Guardiola feels his Manchester City side must be near perfect between now and the end of the season in order to have a chance of beating Arsenal to the Premier League crown.
I don't know how many years now in the Premier League is a big blow to overcome all the problems, you know. The advantage of Arsenal is he has not to win the Premier League for 20 points in front in November. With the way he played, I saw yesterday play against Newcastle, that again impressed me a lot yesterday. I didn't see he dropped 2 points, but he didn't drop the quality they played. This is my feeling yesterday. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I said many times, I cannot venture that, but maybe not the recent years, but when you play the smell of history of Arsenal has to be there. The advantage of Arsenal and Man United right now is nobody have to win the.
Okay, so this game will also see Raheem Sterling faces from the side for the first time since moving to the blue side of London. Well, for Kevin De Bruyne, also facing Chelsea. I mean, it is not the first time he'll be facing Chelsea. But looking at Manchester City, looking at Chelsea, with the way things stand, Manchester City will want to cut that lead over Arsenal. Should they win tonight, that means Manchester City will have that should be 39 points, cutting the gap to 5 points. While Chelsea, well, for Graham Potter, there's a big pressure on this man. A victory for Chelsea tonight will give them 28 points and move the team to the 8th position. But a loss for Chelsea tonight will mean that, you know, when you lock door twice, it shows that you've locked it. But when you open it twice, you've fully opened it. But you open it once, it shows that just one strike, you are gone. Otilo. So, guys, we have to wrap up the show here. Moving to the other side of the show this morning, where we look at headlines of the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Hey, remember Lionel Messi returned to the team yesterday, where he was given, a rousing welcome. Well, guys, do not go anywhere. Burning issue will also be part after the headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning, Naija. Don't forget to deposit your old Naira notes into your Momo wallet at the nearest Momo agent outlet before January 31st, 2023. First dial *671# to open the Momo wallet, then call our toll-free number 671 to locate the Momo agent near you.
Now I see the driver.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you. Please get my luggages.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello? Sorry about that. So you mean you couldn't get a good apartment for me to stay in this Ibadan? This is serious.
Sorry, Mao. Are you looking for an apartment to rent?
Yes, please.
There's one lovely estate where I carried one of my customers go last week. You go like this place, madam.
Really?
Oh yes, that's Aweni Apartments and Aweni Gardens at Iriakari Estate, Soka area, Ibadan. Located at a serene and conducive environment with state-of-the-art facilities, plus 24 hours water and electricity supply. A well-gated estate with maximum security assured. This is the modern apartments you are looking for. For inquiries, call 0805-211-0283 or 0703-265-8631. Aweni Apartments and Aweni Gardens. We got you only and shelter.
Wow, this is beautiful.
You can say that again, madam. This place in a paradise.
We all have that one friend that always hides everything from everyone else. Like my guy, Sheon, that got 1 gig free data when he downloaded my MTN NG app. Did he share the gist with us?
No!
But we found out, and even something he doesn't know, that we get up to 2 gig data if we recharge 500 naira or more on my MTN NG app with our debit card.
You don't mean it!
That's not all. We also get 10% extra on every airtime recharge made on my MTN NG app.
Wow!
Will we share the gist with him?
Yes!
That's correct. You get 1 gig free data when you download my MTN NG app. Up to 2 gig when you recharge 500 naira and above with your debit card on my MTN NG app. And 10% extra on every recharge made on the app. So what are you waiting for? Download my MTN NG app today to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, here he comes.
Guy, any gist today?
What are we doing today?
Great people of Oyo South Senatorial District, what do you want?
Freedom, development, youth empowerment.
That is right. Here is another 4 years opportunity to get it right in Oyo South Senatorial District. Cast your vote for Honorable Oluwasegun Theophilus Oladimeji Otto under the auspices of Labour Party as our representative at the National House of Assembly, Senate. Otto, a man of the people, credible and intelligent leader, social transformer, an advocate for youth empowerment always. On this note, market men and women, artisans, civil servants, students across all levels, social groups, religious houses and many others. Vote for Honorable Oluwasegun Theophilus Oladimeji Otto to represent Oyo South Senatorial District on the Labour Party with the logo of a father, mother and children. Let's do it together. No carryover. Vote for Otto. Labour Party!
Forward ever!
Radio is all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
Fifth day in the month of January 2023. My name is Adidamala Lafewa. It's 20 minutes downside 9 on the AM side, and you're on to from the daily segment of AM Update on Solutions 93.9 FM, your remedy radio dial. I'm doing this with Favor Alontala this morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Okay, I've got stories from the Vanguard and the Punch newspapers.
All right, I'll be taking the stories from the Nation newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, taking my first shot at the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu, no APC governor negotiating with PDP. Governor Bagudu. Kano, Tinubu expresses optimism about winning 2023 presidency. And another one says, G5 governors won't dump PDP, former BOT chair. Buhari DSS arrest ISWAP commander, others in connection with Kogi bomb blast. And another one says, I have stopped kidnapping business, says suspect caught with stolen 50 kilograms of rice. That's quite funny. Nigeria records 35 new cases of COVID-19 infections. And still from the Vanguard, FCT prone to more explosions, fires. FEMA raises alarm. Petrol scarcity, normalcy returns as more stations open in Abuja. Okay, those are some of the headlines from the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, well, let's move over to the Nigerian Tribune this morning, and we're starting from the 2023 election. As INEC receives last consignment of beavers, and DSS apprehends ISWAP commander in connection with Kogi explosion. Wike right, article lacks integrity. Tinubu. 2023. Can as no preferred presidential candidate, NBC president. And also community policing solution to upsurge in crime, IGP. NMA charges IGP to bring killers of Delta doctor to book. Oyo government tells business owners to file annual tax returns to avoid sanctions. As Makinde's aid, Thai currency, others campaign for Atiku in Ibadan. Fuel scarcity may worsen as Nupeng threatens nationwide strike. Pella flags off senatorial campaign in Iseyin. All the stories on the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, I'm moving to the Punch newspaper this morning. 2023 budget hopeless, says Ezekwe Sili. Okay, another one says asset declaration, court stops INEC chairman's removal. Ibadan Mogaji loses title for abusing I chief. Bauchi commissioner resigns after father loses traditional title. And another one says Mbaka returns to Adoration Ministry after 8-month suspension. New COVID-19 variant not in Nigeria, NCDC. EFCC secures 3,785 convictions in 2022. And another one says NANS diaspora gets new president. That is National Association of Nigerian Students. Okay, these are some of the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Are displayed on the Nation newspaper, the front page. You see the APC at Kano State, and the headline reads, Tinubu, Shatima, APC chiefs shut down Kano. The story is on page 4 and 5 of the Nation newspaper. Ex-Lagos governor promises to serve Nigerians. Progressive governors will deliver at poll, says Bagudu. CBN, 1.355 trillion naira Polaris Bank sale most competitive offer, and then Akinjide Bolarumi in walk for Atiku. Air Force redeploys branch chiefs, AOCs, as NDDC barred from awarding contract above limit. Government target 8.2 trillion naira from non-oil sector. Wike confident of victory for his preferred presidential candidate. Those stories on the Nation newspaper. And now moving over to the Morning Issue. Oh, there is a story.
Okay, I think on the front page of the Vanguard this morning, I'm seeing some interesting headlines. Okay, the banner headline on the front page of the Vanguard says, "We have been borrowing to fund petrol subsidy." Finance Minister. Another one says, "Anger, caution as FG inaugurates NDDC board." Tinubu, "I will bring peace, harmony to Nigeria if," and okay, still from on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, petrol tanker drivers threaten strike over harassment by security agents. These and many more will be found on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I think we can now move to the burning issue right now.
front page of the Vanguard newspaper on the borrowing of for fuel subsidy. But we have the special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity. That's Femi Adesina, explaining why its principal couldn't remove fuel subsidy.
Well, it's a phase the country must pass through and has passed through. And that phase is coming to an end. You have heard the government say, you have heard the Minister of Finance reiterate that subsidy payment will stop by June. And of course, that date was not just picked haphazardly. That month was not just picked from the blues. It had been planned. Removing fuel subsidy makes a lot of economic sense, but does it make all the social sense? And you know that President Buhari is somebody that looks at the social sense of whatever he will do. That's why he has not beaten the bullet on removal of fuel subsidy over the year. In the beginning, his position was that what was subsidy really? But over the years, it became evident that the country was bleeding, the economy was bleeding, there was a lot of hemorrhage which needed to be stopped. And the time came, and that time is now.
Okay, that was one of our burning issues this morning. And another burning issue I'd like to talk about in a few minutes is a statement credited to the Oyo South senatorial candidate under the flagship of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, that is Joseph Tegbe, who debunked insinuations that the G5 will endorse Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi during the second term governorship flag off of Engineer Seyi Makinde, which will happen today. Okay, let's take a listen at his words.
Even in family, there's crisis. Even the father does not like two sons, his two sons, he can't like them equally. In Oyo State, the chairman mentioned Bola Rubino, Sister Abidide, Jogo. They are all my brothers and sisters. But sometimes we can stand on two sides of issue based on principle. And sometimes the way we are emotional about issues can differ. Is it a lost cause or lost battle for G5? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me tell you, my principle in life, even if you have a baby in the house, if you spank your baby for doing something wrong, he knows that when next he wants to do that thing, he remember that you spanked. It doesn't mean that will prevent he or she from doing it, but when he or she wants to do it again, remember that my mom spanked me the last time, so I might get spanked for this. So, again, I think there's blessings in everything that happens in life. What if they endorse Peter Obi tomorrow? It won't happen. Quote me, it will not happen.
Keep it 93.9.
We all have that one friend that always hides everything from everyone else. Like my guy, Sheon, that got 1 gig free data when he downloaded my MTN NG app. Did he share the gist with us?
No!
But we found out, and even something he doesn't know, that we get up to 2 gig data if we recharge 500 naira or more on my MTN NG app with our debit card.
You don't mean it!
That's not all. We also get 10% extra on every airtime recharge made on my MTN NG app.
Wow!
Will we share the gist with him?
Yes!
That's correct. You get 1 gig free data when you download my MTN NG app. Up to 2 gig when you recharge 500 naira and above with your debit card on my MTN NG app. And 10% extra on every recharge made on the app. So what are you waiting for? Download my MTN NG app today to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, here he comes.
Guy, any gist today?
What are we doing today?
Okay, just before we went on that break, we'll listen to Engineer Joseph Tegbe, who is the Oyo South senatorial candidate of the PDP, talking about debunking the insinuations that the G5 will endorse Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. And just a few days ago, it was in the news that one of this prominent member, one of the prominent members of the G5, that is the Benue State Governor, Governor Samuel Ortom, openly declared his support for the Labour Party's presidential candidate, that is Peter Obi. Now, we are having a flag of the Oyo State second-term ambition, Oyo State Governor's second-term ambition today, the rally. We believe that most of this G5 governors, if not all of them, will be around today. And then we have Joseph Tegbe saying that the G5 will not be endorsing Peter Obi. Favor, doesn't that look like G5 is becoming a house divided against itself?
I don't think that is the case for the PDP at this moment.
I'm not talking about the PDP in general. I'm talking about the G5
governors.
now.
We already know that one of those G5 governors have openly endorsed another party's presidential candidate. But concerning the rest of the G5 governors, I guess maybe they must have seen reason with the party. And I don't know where this is headed today, but I'm looking forward to a drama at the at the inauguration
at the rally
today. Rather.
Okay, because as we speak, Wike keeps maintaining his stand on not supporting Atiku. In fact, in the last few days, he's been making a statement which can be described as a mockery of Atiku. You know, he was referring to there was a time he spoke about Obasanjo's endorsement of Peter Obi is a slap on Atiku, who worked as a vice president under Obasanjo, and for his principle not to have even endorsed him.
We all know that the relationship between Atiku and President or ex-president Obasanjo is not a tight one.
Yes,
it's not been a tight one. So I didn't actually expect that he was going to endorse. But the question here is, what is the political value of endorsements of candidates for the presidential elections? Is it I'm going to say it, is it this kind of breath of fresh air that this person you're endorsing will actually do great? Look at 2015 election. There were a series of endorsements. There was this particular headline yesterday whereby, yes, there was some particular candidate that were endorsed by a particular person who didn't win the election. Even if you've been endorsed, does that mean you win the election? And even if you win the election, does that mean you're going to bring good value to Nigeria as a whole? Look at the economy of Nigeria as it speaks. Look at how the security is. Everything is just, you know, on the hands of the people right now to decide whomever it is that they decide to make the president or their government respective state for Nigeria to be a better place.
That was why I even asked Dr. Cornerstone, who was our analyst yesterday, when we're talking about the endorsement given by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and I was trying to let him answer the question on what is the relevance of this endorsement. For me, Obasanjo endorsing any candidate doesn't make that person, that candidate, what is it called, the most preferred, because Obasanjo himself, he has some skeletons. And can we really?
Let's not know about the skeletons of Obasanjo. Let's look at the fact that this presidential candidate has been endorsed by the former governor of that's President Obasanjo, ex-President Obasanjo, is one guy that it's now becoming a threat to the PDP and the APC. Now, for that kind of elder statesman to actually pinpoint someone like that, it shows that there might be a revolution in Nigeria. That is what I see here. It might not win, but this is just to show that yes, there is relevance in young ones, there's relevance in youth, that people really want a change in Nigeria. And if this is the way it goes, no problem, we all shall see in the election come February. It's just a month to go.
Okay, now still talking about this G5 governors and their activities, you know, it's in one of the national dailies this morning about the G5 governors not. Okay, let me read it. G5 governors won't dump the PDP, former BOT chair. Now, I was asking them, Dr. Cornerstone, yesterday as well, that, okay, you're saying G5 governors won't dump the PDP, and the body language of some of these G5 governors is saying something else, working against the party's interest. I believe today, as it stands, the party's interest, I mean the PDP's main interest now on the national level is to win the presidential election for their candidate to win. That is Atiku Abubakar. And we've had this G5 governor, some of them coming out openly to declare support for another candidate from another party. Now, I mean, it's really dicey here when is that PDP as a, can we say who is mocking each other, or is it kind of a PDP saying, okay, they won't dump the PDP, but they are working against the PDP?
The PDP.
That was why I was really against Dr. Cornerstone yesterday when he kept on saying that wasn't anti-party, that it was it is pro-progress or something.
Okay, let me paint this scenario.
Okay.
Myself and you, we have, an issue. It's internal, and unfortunately, it went abroad, and everybody heard about it. Do you know that there is a way we can resolve this issue amongst ourselves and still be together, and people will still keep speculating that we are not friends anymore? I think that is what is going on in the PDP. Before the election of 2023, that is going to be February, I have this belief that there is going to be some kind of resolve to this crisis. It's already happening when we heard that they might or they will not be endorsing, that they're going to be campaigning for Atiku. Let's see how it goes. We have to see how it goes. Well, we can open the phone lines now for you to contribute to any of the stories that was read out today. Tinubu was at Kano yesterday. He did his rally there. It was massive. It was okay. And we had other stories on the Nigerian Tribune and other newspapers this morning. If you want to call in to, give your contribution, it's 0909 88 89 939 and 0912 22 22 939. 0909 88 89 939 0912 22 22 939. It's a pleasure for me to say welcome to our analysts for the first time this year on AM Update on a Thursday like this. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to the show. Comrade Olu Omotosho, good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning to you, and wish you a prosperous New Year.
Yeah, the same. I can see that it's prosperous already. You look fantastic.
Well, I claim it because you said it, so I don't know. You most probably may be prophesizing, so I claim it.
Okay, thank you very much for claiming.
Okay, just before you came in, we were talking about the issue of this G5 governors and this series of endorsements here and there, and there was a kind of a rally yesterday in Ibadan organized by the PDP, and we had this man, one of the candidates that is from the Oyo South senatorial candidate of the PDP, that is Engineer Joseph Tegbe, who debunked insinuations that the G5 will endorse the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. And a few days ago, we heard one of these G5 governors saying that, that is Samuel Otom, openly declaring his support for Peter Obi. So what's your take on this? Can we say that there is a division in the G5 as we speak?
You see, politics is a game of interest, and you really cannot see all of them. The G5 have been together. They have a common ground, something that a philosophy that 5 of them seems to believe in. But in spite of that, that does not mean that they will continue to toe the same path. And the only thing is that bring them together is that they said, look, we want Ayu to go. So even if Ayu leaves today, now you are really not so sure that the 5 of them, even if they return to PDP, that their mind will continue to be the same. So that difference will always be there because they are politicians.
Their mind will not be the same. I don't understand that, sir.
Okay, take for instance now. They are saying, look, they said, we want IU to go. Now, if IU decide to say, okay, today I'm stepping down.
Okay.
All of these troubles, I want it to end, so I'm going to step down today. If he steps down today, and the 5 of them get incorporated into the Presidential Campaign Council. Now, even if they sit on a table to decide on some things, there will still be some level of disparity in their thought, in their belief, in the way they feel things should be done. So it is not possible for all of them, for the 5 of them to say, look, this is a person we are going to support. We're going to go for this political party in the presidential election. This is how we are going to vote, and all of them will agree. Don't forget, Seyi Makinde stand out. His own case is quite different from the rest of them.
In what way?
Now, he's the only one that is seeking for a second term.
Okay.
So, and his interest the way he will look at the election will be a bit different from the way the others will look at it. Because he wants to look at an arrangement that will favor him. Now, others are, some of them are contesting for Senate. And of course, the catchment area for Senate is not as wide as that of a governor. So now his own interest will be at the forerunner with the front burner. Now he want to see, now who am I going to support here? Now others may say, okay, because these candidates, because of my senatorial area, I need this. This will give me a better chance to win because if I align with this presidential candidate or whatever. But Seyi Makinde, his own thought will be a bit different. He's in a precarious situation right now, even himself because his own house is burning. Now, PDP is not won in Oyo State. Some people had their rally yesterday. Now he's going to have his own, and then again they will still come. Presidential rallies will still come to Oyo State. Now, if he's not going to attend that of Atiku, now he will be thinking of who to support. Is it Obi? Is it going for Obi? Will the influence of him supporting Obi will it assist his own election here in Oyo? Or will he prefer to say, look, it's Tinubu's, if I support Tinubu, that would be better for me. Now, so it all depends. And, it has to look at the strength and the popularity of the candidates on ground also. If he's going to support Tinubu, it has Teslim to contend with here.
Yeah.
Now, if he's supporting Obi, the candidate of the Labour Party in Oyo State is a bit weaker. It's not as strong in popularity as Teslim. So there are so many things that he will put on the table when they are discussing that would determine what he wants to do and where he wants to go.
Because there was a walk for Atiku on Tuesday, and Seyi Makinde was conspicuously absent at that event. And I asked our analyst yesterday a particular question, and I want to ask you the same question too. Now it's no news that Samuel Ortom, a PDP governor, openly declaring his support for a candidate of another party. Isn't that a clear case of anti-party activity?
Everything they have been doing from the time they carved themselves out of the PDP amount to anti-party. But then the party is not doing something too. The party is not doing anything, and I don't think they can do anything on that and they succeed legally, because there was an infraction, and they are saying, let us correct this, because it became an infraction because they said their constitution does not support you having a presidential candidate coming from a particular region, and then you still have the chairman, the leadership of the party coming from there. So if that is true, then definitely the party cannot really defend that. But whether we like it or not, if it's just that in management, there is a rule in management. If you are in unemployment, you cannot criticize what is being policies that are being done there. If you are not if you are not in tune with it and you don't like it, the best thing for you to do is resign. And then when you have resigned, then you can begin to talk about it, but not while you are there. So what they are doing is anti-party. There is no any other terms for that.
I love the fact that you've broken that down, because we didn't get a concrete answer yesterday. It was a back and forth, conversation with our analysts. But we had another report this morning coming from Femi Adesina on the fuel subsidy removal. There was also an headline on the Vanguard newspaper whereby debt has been used to service this fuel subsidy. Femi Adesina made a statement yesterday saying that there are reasons why his principal has not been couldn't remove fuel subsidy from the economy for the petroleum sector.
You see, there is that subsidy on its own is politics. A lot of politics is going on there. And remember 2012 or so, 2012, January.
Jonathan.
We just woke up like this, and we had the removal of subsidy, and then everybody was on the street. I mean, the major actors of this administration led that protest at that time. Now, and don't forget also that for more than 2 years before we actually went into that election, these people, the actors of the current administration, were saying that subsidy was a fraud, a scam, and there was nothing like that. And how many times, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 times now since this administration came on board, they have told us they have removed subsidy. And now, at a point, I think maybe about 2 years ago or so, they brought another term, which came up from the interaction they had with the NNPC. Is it something, a coverage or whatever? They said they use a term that's what they are using to cover. I mean, they are not paying subsidy, but they are funding, the gap or whatever. So if they are now still talking, I don't know why most of them don't have shame. Because to me, you see, when you talk about integrity, what it means is when you say one of the things that shows whether you have integrity or not is that people are able to hold you to your word. When you say this is what I'm going to do, and then you ended up doing it, then people will say yes, you have integrity. But when you say I'm going to do this, and then when you get there you give excuses because of this I couldn't do it. Now I have seen what's on ground, so I'm going to do it this way. And then you get there, you still form another excuse for us again. So my closing score on that is just that this government has failed. On subsidy, whatever they are telling us on subsidy, we should just ignore them.
Comrade, I in my own knowledge of subsidy, I believe that if subsidy is there, we should be getting the product at a lesser price, a price that won't really tear our purses and pockets. But so far, the subsidy that is being put on this oil sector, have really been able to benefit from it. And what will be the implication of its removal eventually, if it is? Because we heard the finance minister saying yesterday that by June this year, subsidy will be totally eradicated. What will now be the implication of the removal of subsidy?
Now, me as a person, I am not feeling the impact of any subsidy at all. Now, for a very long time, more than a month, it was just yesterday that I bought fuel at cheaper price. I bought it at 200 naira. Now, I have bought fuel for 300 naira per liter. Now, this subsidy we are talking about is just an enticement for some people. Before Jonathan left, we were told that we consume about 32 million liters of fuel locally per day. Today, we are consuming between 70 and 78 liters of fuel per day. Does it mean that the population of people, of car owners in Nigeria had doubled within that period and now?
Comrade Oluwamotasho, we'll continue this conversation after this commercial break. Please do not change the dial. It's Solutions 939 FM.
It's a beautiful morning, Niger. Don't forget to deposit your old Naira notes into your Momo wallet at the nearest Momo agent outlet before January 31st, 2023. First dial *671# to open the Momo wallet, then call our toll-free number 671 to locate the Momo agent near you.
Comrade, you can continue now. Welcome back. It is still AM update.
So if we look at it from there, now I think we need to start by interrogating the volume of fuel that we consume locally. Now, what about the things that we've been hearing that about 50 to 60% of subsidized fuel that were imported into Nigeria got exported again? I mean, by some people. No, meaning that we are subsidizing fuel to come to Nigeria and then selling it to other nations. And the money is not coming back to us. Now, what is the essence of that subsidy? Everything on the streets today is almost getting out of the reach of the common man. Now, fuel, you can't get it.
You can.
We are subsidizing. And then we are paying subsidy.
And we are paying more
we
for
are
this
paying
subsidy.
more, and we are not getting it. We are not getting what we are paying for. So what's the essence of the subsidy? So which means, you see, in Yoruba parlance, they says the man that greets you, if his greeting cannot fill you up as if you have eaten, then if he fails to greet you, then it won't make you hungry. So if you are paying subsidies and we are not getting the impact of it, then why not just remove the subsidy and forget about it?
Then what will now be the implication of the removal? If we add with the subsidy, with this so much money, trillions being paid for subsidy, and we are still buying these things at this very high rate, what will now be the implication? Aren't we looking at buying petrol for 500 naira per liter?
600 naira per liter.
700, if the subsidy is totally eradicated.
Buy petrol at 500 naira per liter. It's not strange to us in Nigeria. Now, sometimes when we have fuel scarcity in the past, I have bought a liter of fuel for 1,000 naira before. So that's not. But now, I think what a serious government should do, I'm not talking about serious government as this administration was saying, because they told us a serious government will provide light in 6 months. So I'm talking about serious government now in the context of, the real meaning of that word. Now, a serious government will sit down and do a feasibility study, and then I say, okay, now if we are going to remove this subsidy, what impact is it going to have on the people? Now, why is it? I said this sometimes, and somebody called in to criticize me. Now, it is in Nigeria that you have more individuals having access or owning oil fields. It is in Nigeria that have more. We don't, other countries where they have that, we see corporate organizations, they give it, even states. Why are states in Nigeria not having access to this? Now, what if, I think government should say, okay, now we are just, let's liberalize this thing. Let's say, okay, we are going to privatize. Give this oil field to organizations, and then you have unbundled NNPC. And even before unbundling, NNPC is not even remitting anything to us. So what's the essence of you having NNPC there? Okay. So why not give it to private individuals? Give it to organizations. Give it to state governments. Let them run, and then let them build refineries. For as long as these refineries are run by government centrally as we have now, those refineries will never work. Because the cabal there, the clique there, will not make it work. They will only take money, and then, of course, when it is fixed today, it's not as if the refineries are not working. Now, I read a report, and that had been happening for a very long time. When turnaround maintenance is completed and then it started working, within 2 weeks, something will happen again. And then it will go moribund, it will go down for months again. And it's not as if these things just got there. They do things like that deliberately because they needed to make money. So Nigeria is so rotten. I think when they removed this subsidy and then liberalized the the lower, what is it? The mining and the exploration of this. Now it will be hard for us. It will be hard, but it will get to a time that competition will set in, and then we'll begin to have this thing. Let's have this fuel. It's not. It's just not making sense. We have fuel. We dwell on the ocean, and yet we still wash our hands with saliva. It's pathetic.
It shouldn't be. Okay, let's take, because our time is fast spent, we have barely 5 or 4 minutes to leave. And let's take a few comments on our Facebook page. I have this coming from Olayin Kaditola. Despite the present economic crisis facilitated by the APC government at the federal level, Nigeria's debt burden is about to eat 77 trillion naira without substantial tangible projects that will serve as a return to pay back the debt. Okay.
We have this one from Deola Latifa. She says, Nigeria is ranked 6th largest crude oil producing country in the world, yet no functional refinery. Buried away our future, what's happening to the crude oil been stolen every day? What has been the NNPC's remittance since this administration came to power? What has been the action of the supposed Minister of Petroleum? These are questions that need answers.
Aderonke Akuredi Oladele, APC time is almost up. Talking of subsidy after 7 years is nonsense. We should be talking about the refinery. The current federal government promises to build. This current administration said at least 1 refinery per year, meaning we should have 7 in place. None has been seen so far. Even the Port Harcourt refinery that ought to commence work by December is nowhere to be found till date. APC has failed us.
The last one for today, Oluwaseun Ruth. Since the emergence of the APC-led government, Nigeria has been huge in debt, to the extent that our revenues can no longer service our debt. Our debt will hit 77 trillion naira by May. How do we get here? All the huge debt on ground, what is the APC federal government doing on it? Obviously, nothing to show for it. If truly they have use of all the money they borrowed, well, we wouldn't be facing the economic crisis we are now. It's so sudden that Nigeria is still crippled despite being blessed with natural resources, but the wrong people at the helm of affairs have failed to do the needful. God will help us. Definitely God will help us in the 2023 elections and with the pressed candidate to rule Nigeria. Thank you, comrade, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. We sincerely apologize for not picking any calls. You see that it's flashing, but we have to go because another program, Mukadre, is coming up. My name is Favor Oloruntola.
And my name is Adi Damola Lafenwa. Enjoy the rest of the day. Good morning.